What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. I hope everybody's having a great day. Guys, got another cool video for you. This is one of three that Sarah has sent me. This one here, I believe, is from Apollo 16. Now, it's got this weird-looking rock in it. She doesn't believe it's a rock. She believes it didn't start out as a rock. She thinks it's more of something that's melted, perhaps hitting the surface of the moon, whatever it may be. But inadvertently, she showed me something else. Let's jump into this. This is where you can find it right here, and it is a actual Flickr.com photo, and you can see it right here. Well, I'll give you the overall here first. Just zoom into this a hair bit. And you can see you may say, well, Chris, that looks nothing more than a rock. Well, let's have some close-up views of this so-called rock, because she pointed at a couple things. One, some of the footprints in here can look a little weird, okay? You can see them right here in the middle. Right here. You can see they go back and they kind of back and forth over here looking at this so-called rock, right? Well, over here, we're not sure what to make of this one. It looks like a footprint. It might be just the way he angled his foot into the dirt. Could very well be. This one here is kind of interesting because it almost looks like something like letters as opposed to an actual footprint. And the reason why I say that, if this was angled, let's say he pivoted his foot at the same time, you would kind of see that. And I'm not really seeing that, but let's accept it as just nothing more than a footprint, shall we? Because there's another one here. Right here. But it's weird. It's almost like his foot didn't sink in that deep right there. Like there's maybe a rock right underneath here. See that? Because the other ones are quite deep if you look at them. See that? Okay. What I notice is a couple things. Let me show you a couple interesting rocks. Now, to me, right here, this is patchwork. That's all that is. That's patchwork. This has been manipulated and obfuscated. And you might say, well, how did they do that back in the day during these missions? Well, they could have went back over them before the public was really starting to tear these things apart, right? This is what I find interesting in the back here. Look at this weird-looking rock. Almost looks like the top of a tombstone, so to speak. See the shape? It goes up, goes over, goes across, has an angle down and then straight down. And then look at the back side of this thing right here. See the back side of it? Look at the face of it. Got that really kind of weird shape to it. And you can see what they look like. They try to put something over that because you can see, look really good right there. It has what looks like some kind of, like they try to go over it. So it looks a slight transparency, but you can see it over this object, right? Kind of interesting. Now, let's have another look at another crazy looking rock in the back here. Check this thing out. Now, I don't know about you guys. It looks more of a shell of something more than a rock. You guys see that? Look at this thing. I find it pretty interesting to be a rock. Back out just a hair bit. You've got the one here in the lower right. Check this out. Comes up, goes across. You can see what looks like, I don't know if it's a dirt on the side, but it has looks like a 90-degree corner. Comes down. You can just see another corner right there before it drops below the so-called sand, which happens to have this nice straight edge. Look carefully. That rock continues below the sand. See it right here? Here's the sand line. Just below the sand line. Yeah, this has been manipulated. This piece also next to this back rock. Check this out. Almost looks like it's got this kind of arch kind of shape to it or something. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. I'll try to put that in the middle of the screen for you guys. Right there. See that? And this other crazy looking rock. Now, she says this is not a rock. Okay. So what we're going to do is show you the enhanced photo that she's done. Because what she points out is this here. It looks like it has some kind of weird grid or some kind of weird pattern in this so-called rock. You can see this edge right here coming down, nice straight line, and a faint one right here on the left-hand side. So it makes you wonder, what is this stuff? Again, we've got more what looks like patchwork right here. Now, is it possible that's the way the rock formed? Great possibility, sure. I don't think that's the case. Check this out. What's this straight piece right here? Coming up, coming down a little bit, and then back down. See that? Pretty interesting. Has some little weird little details in here. Not really any kind of telltale sign, but look at this right here. It has this, looks like a gray circle. Has these pieces right here. Kind of interesting little pieces on a rock that's just supposed to be a simple rock. All right, let's have a look at Sarah's. She's dockened it up, and let's have a look at what she has. Okay, so she showed this right here, and you can see what looks like them, almost looks like more lettering than it does look like a footprint. Looks like almost like a K and something else right here, almost like an X. Now, is it a possibility that this thing is a footprint? Absolutely could be. However, it's kind of weird how it's not really sunk in the ground. Doesn't look like they pivoted their foot in any way. You would see it right here, because it looks like they were going in this direction from left to right. And you can see that. Now, right there, you can see it like it's rounded right there, his foot. So it looks like he walked this way at some point. And there you go, right? Okay. She's also pointed this out. And I find it rather interesting myself. You got these lines right here and this weird kind of texture. Again, what are we seeing here? What I also notice is what looks like airbrushing right here. Check this out. You can see the rock behind this other sand. Remember I told you this looked like this sand right here? You can see like the rock is still going below the sand line. I don't think it's sand. I think it's airbrushing. Something they've done to this, because you can still see this part of this so-called rock in this sand. Let me guess. Transparent sand. Come on. All right? This is where it gets really cool. So, like I said, she inadvertently brought this stuff out. And when I showed it to her, I was like, well, you basically get the credit for this because what she showed here on this so-called rock. And I found something really interesting here. One, check this out. Very faintly, from this rock right here, this point, follow just to the left. And you can see what looks like a pipe, rounded right there. Goes like this, goes back into this mountain. Guys, I've always said this, these are not mountains. They are almost like a template they put over this. So anything that's very large that they want to get rid of, they make it look like a mountain. Why else would the rest of this look pretty decent, look realistic, if you will? Not all of it is. But yet that looks so weird. Now, here's another object on the right side of this rock. Why do you suppose these are here? Right here. Check this out. Kind of this weird bent object sitting right here. And you have another one right here, right next to it. What do you guys suppose that is? See it right there? You can see that pretty darn well. Now let me show you something too that's pretty interesting. Let's go back to the original, shall we? You can still see it in the photo. It's right there. See that? What do you guys suppose that is? Okay. Now the other one, you're not going to see. It's so fine that it's almost impossible to see. It should be right in this area right here. And you can barely see this thing at all because they did a great job of really taking this thing out. Now, here it is right here. So let's docken this thing up and see if we can bring out these other pieces on the sides a little better. Okay, we zoomed in, made the picture larger. Check this stuff out. What is going on here? Look at this. Not only does it look like pipes sticking out of it, it also looks like this little canister type thing, or whatever this may be, on the top of that. I see what looks like another mini pipe or some kind of weird straight piece coming out right down here. Coming out of something. See this right here? This weird gray, almost shiny piece. Well, not shiny, but seems to be smooth. And some kind of white piece sticking out of it. See that? And we have what looks like this pipe. And another piece coming down. All right. There's something else up here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's some weird piece. Now, I've said this before. These are not hills. They're actually hiding stuff in these photos. Here's these other pieces, and they show up rather well. What could these things be on the side of this hill? It's not a hill. Something much more. It could be a structure. Could be part of a craft. We don't know. It's pure speculation. But clearly that's not normal in any way, shape, or form. And as soon as she gave me this photo, I immediately looked on the right-hand side. I seen this. I said, whoa. And just by her docketing this is what brought this out. So basically, she gets the credit for this. I just happened to bring them out a little bit more. So kudos to her for bringing these out. Now let's go to the next one. Basically, all I do is just kind of put some circles around and some squares. Just really point this stuff out. Now, you can see on the bottom left, it does look like an airbrushing. You should not see rock through sand. Unless, of course, you have transparent sand, which I think is kind of silly, and I don't think that's the case at all. So, when you see this stuff, guys, wow. I mean, what is going on, like I said? Check this out. Something's here. I said, get this smooth piece right here. And it looks like it has this weird cutout. And it has this little white pipe sticking out. Then you have what looks like other pipes sticking out of this thing. Is that what they are? What are these other objects on the right-hand side? They just happen to be resting on this so-called hillside. I think it's something else that's part of a structure or something laying there. And all you see is visibly is that there laying there. Okay? And like I said, this looks like airbrushing to me. Check this out. You can see that part of that rock, it literally comes down below the sand line. Doesn't make much sense. But again, guys, the rocks, right? Just the rocks alone. And like I said, we got this weird looking rock back here. This is the original. I want to show you guys the original because that's fascinating to me. Check that out. And makes no sense. And just above that, check them objects out right there. There you go, guys. Guys, tell me what you're seeing here as well. I believe Sarah's right. I don't think this thing's a rock at all. I think it's something else that's melted or something they dressed up to look like a rock. And I think they've been doing this for years, just like they're doing on Mars. They have this weird, like, rock mimicking software. And let's just say, well, Sarah and I are wrong. Okay, it's a rock. Okay, what about the other strange-looking rocks? The two of them on the left and the one on the right. Doesn't make sense. And I'm talking about the one that's on the lunar surface. Then once you get into this thing a little bit more, that hillside suddenly turns into something more interesting. And it's not a hillside. I don't believe they are hillsides. I don't think they ever have been. Because it's just like Mars. You see what looks like these buttes and these little hillsides, whatever they may be. And yet there's something always in these hillsides. So it's almost like they're trying to cover this stuff up, but they're not quite covering 100% of it up. As always, guys, please like and share. It is appreciated. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so YouTube will share it. And the most important thing of all, don't forget to comment. Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Anyway, guys, got another one coming up, another moon one. And this one here, if Sarah was doing videos, she would make a fantastic video because she showed me something that's like mind-boggling. And the stuff she's brought out, but what's more important, we have one of the astronauts showing a drawing about what he's seen on the moon. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Always appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side so you'll be alerted of the new videos coming out. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Always appreciate it. Peace, everyone.